What's up, everybody? This is Investing Sensei here to bring you episode 151 of the portfolio update. So hopefully you guys are doing awesome. I definitely am. I think this is going to be actually a really fun video to record, especially because I will be going over how the portfolio performed this past week. I'll show you guys the full performance. I'll show you exactly what I bought, what I sold, any dividends that came in, as well as the other thing that I will be showing you guys is one of the cool things that I've been doing after the transfer, and that is how I'm actually accelerating my growth and this new portfolio. This is actually extra income that I'm receiving on top of my dividends, my passive dividend income. So far in the past 4 weeks, I've collected $172.18 completely, on top of those dividends. So that is going to help accelerate that snowball, get larger much faster. And I think it's a great, plan to do. So I will be going over that on how I'm doing that. A lot of you guys probably already know why, especially if you've been following me in the past couple weeks, because I've been showing that in my history, but I will go into a little bit more detail into that, and then we'll wrap up the video with just going over kicking off the scripts that I do have. Remember that we kick them off every week. We're trying to achieve about $300 a month on average, and completely passive income, that is with the dividends. So we're going to try to get to 300 before the end of the year. I think we'll definitely be really close. But overall as well, you guys know that we do have these 2022 goals that I went ahead and placed around this past December. We've already hit the 6,000 subscriber goal, which now we're actually on our way to 8,000 subscribers. So if you're new to the channel or you're a returning viewer and you haven't subscribed, consider subscribing with that bell notification so you're notified when I upload new videos. I typically bring these type of videos every single Sunday as well. Drop a big thumbs up to help out the channel, and then the YouTube algorithm will push out my content. Definitely appreciate it in advance. As well, you'll see that goal number 2 is the $300, which I did cover a few seconds ago. The other one is to reach $110,000 invested of my own money. If we look over here, you'll see that we finally are at $107,000. We got about maybe $3,000 more to go, and we're going to achieve that before 2022 ends. The other one is to reach about 225, which I don't believe we have that in control. Depends on the market conditions. But goal number 5 is definitely achievable, and that is to continue to dollar cost average $100 every single week, and we are definitely doing that. So definitely excited because we grow that passive income every single week, as you'll see once we kick off those scripts. The other thing here is to drip $20 every time a company does pay us out, which you'll see that I did do this past week because we got some pretty juicy dividends. So I'll be covering that in a bit. But overall, guys, we're going to continue to stay focused on these 2022 goals, and I think in the long run it'll pay off, especially if we look at the quarterly dividends. You'll see this continue to grow and grow, and I can't wait till we get all the dividends for September, because that will wrap up Q3 of 2022, and I'm hoping we definitely hit $800 because we want to surpass the previous quarter. So definitely really looking forward to it. But anyways, guys, let's go ahead and I'll show you that the portfolio is at $181,425.75. You'll see that we're actually in the green by a bit on the day change, by about $2,722.21, which is roughly about 1.52%. Overall, we're actually still down about $6,000. And if we look over here to the performance overall, you'll see that your account lost is about $7,000 since August 25th, 2022 till September 10th. You'll see that we are down, but definitely a lot less than previously. We were down about, I believe, $12,000 or so. If we look down here, our beginning value was $188,000, and the other thing here, ending value $181,000. So those are the losses as well. You'll see that how much we contributed within this period, which was $572, which are now working hard for us, completely passive from our side. We did have to go to work to generate this 572, but now for the rest of our life, as long as we keep investing in great companies, this will work for us. So it'll go from active income to passive income. So that'll be very, very awesome. As you'll see, rate of return, you'll see we're down about 3.77%. It'll be exciting to see, in the long run how we perform. And let me show you guys the current positions here. So you'll see that we actually have about $388 and our cash balance so far. So that's very, very awesome. And that is because that strategy that I'm following, that I'll jump into in a bit, that is how we're generating some extra income there. You'll see that overall we're still up about 52,000, almost 53,000, which is about a 41% return, which is actually pretty great. I'm happy with it, especially because we've been buying more shares of these great companies overall. But you'll see overall we do have Nvidia as our top gainer. Nvidia has gone down in price. One of the great questions that I did get asked is if I regret not taking profits from Nvidia. I honestly actually did take out about $10,000 in profits last year in Nvidia before the stock split. So I believe I invested maybe about $4,000 in Nvidia, and I actually took $10,000, so I took maybe about $6,000 in profits plus my initial investment of Nvidia out of the way. So all of this is just extra great capital appreciation we got from Nvidia. Nvidia does have a long, rough couple years going forward, but this will be the opportunity for us to accumulate some more shares slowly as the price drops down, and hopefully in the long term it will pay off like it has recently. So definitely excited for that. But you'll see overall, guys, we have a lot of these companies. They are in the green. The only companies we still have that are in the red are JPM, Target, and 3M. So everything else we're slightly in the green. Especially, it's very exciting compared to what the market is and the conditions of those right now. But if we look over here, guys, and we look at the investment income, you'll see that we're projected to make about $3,356.29, averaging about $279.69, which is roughly close to the same that we have projected here from our scripts. Again, I do have these scripts available for free. All I ask in return is that you subscribe with that bell notification if you have not done so, and you drop a big thumbs up on the videos. But yeah, I have all these scripts available for free. I have tutorials on them, and it absolutely costs you nothing to use these. But anyways, you'll see that overall for October, we're expected to make about $235-ish, and then November 159, almost 160, and then for the month of December, $443. So it's gone up slightly since last week, and that is because, again, we continue to dollar cost average a minimum of $100. And if we look at the history, guys, which this will actually show everything for us, you'll see that I do have it to start from September 5th of 2022 all the way to the 11th, which is today. And if we scroll down, you'll see we can kind of ignore these because these were options I did do that expired worthless, which were pretty great. But you'll see that on the 6th we actually did sell to open. So I sold some covered calls on Apple that expired on the 9th of 2022, so this past Friday, with a strike price of $165. It was a covered call again, and we actually collected 14 cents per contract, I believe. And you'll see that we paid in fees about $1.31, and then total profit we collected was $26.69 when we sold these covered calls. What this means is that if Apple ended up closing by the 9th of September at or above $165, then they would actually sell my 100 shares at $165. And I would also keep the premium, so it's definitely great. There is a slight risk that my shares do get sold, but I'm okay taking that risk. You'll see that we did also sell to open an Nvidia covered call that expired also on the 9th of September with a strike price of $148, and we collected 29 cents or $29 and really 65 cents in fees. Overall about $28.35 is what we collected at the end. And then you'll see as well, we also sold a JPM covered call that expired on the 9th of September with a strike price of $119. So this one right here is actually fairly interesting, and that is because I'll be showing you guys in a little bit what the reason for that. So when I sold this covered call at JPM was trading around $113, and we collected about $6 in premium after fees, $5.35. But the reason why I point this out is because JP Morgan actually closed by Friday around $119 and a couple cents. So I ended up having to roll it, which I'll show you that in a bit. But you'll see on the 8th, we deposited $200. And the reason why it's $200 is because I do have $100 every dollar cost average. And then actually 5 companies did pay me out a dividend this past week. So 20 times 5 is 100. So I had to deposit a total of $200 this week. And you'll see that on the 8th, we deposited, or I guess we bought Southern Companies. We actually bought $20 worth of Southern Companies. We bought about $20 worth of Johnson & Johnson, and then we also bought $20 of Microsoft because they did pay us out a dividend, and then Target as well. We bought $20 because they paid us out a dividend, and then Pfizer as well. They paid us a dividend, so we bought $20 worth of it as well. We also did the $100 dollar cost average. We just went ahead and bought some Microsoft here. I went ahead and added an additional $20, just a little bit, buy a little bit more. But here is the interesting parts that I do want to go over. So as you'll see here is that I actually bought to close JPM. So what I ended up doing is what it's called is a roll. So JP Morgan was above $119, so I was gonna get my shares taken away. My cost basis on JP Morgan is about $122. So what I did was I rolled it towards next Friday, and what you have to do in this case is that you have to buy to close your current position. So we bought to close the September 9th covered call with a strike price of $119. We actually paid $48.65, so that was a loss. But then we sold to open another covered call that expires on the 16th of September with a strike price of $122, so right at my cost basis. And then we actually collected $65, or about $64. You subtract the difference, that's about maybe what, $16 profit that we would make in premium. So that is pretty great there. So we went ahead and rolled it so that our shares wouldn't get taken away. The other one here, guys, that we did do was a buy to close on Nvidia, which we actually bought it back early. Just $4 is what we paid. I went ahead and bought it because Nvidia was trading around $143, $144, and you know, after hours, the prices of certain companies, if great news or bad news come, they could spike up or spike down. So I went ahead and just take my risk off, because we made about $26, I believe, or $28, something around there, but we made a good profit off of it. So paying $4, I think that was worth it. The other one here, guys, there you'll see, then we sold another covered call on Nvidia that expires on the 16th of September with a strike price of $157.50. And then we collected about $41.35 after fees. So that is pretty great there, guys. What do you think of that? I think it'll be very, very awesome. And then you'll see that this is actually a transfer from Fidelity. These are a lot of dividends that I've been collecting on that account, and these will get reinvested in next week's episode, so you'll see. But this is what I have for you guys in the transactions. Now I want to actually talk to you guys about how I'm actually generating this extra income that I showed you guys at the beginning of the video, and the fact that we made $172.18 on top of our dividends. So you'll see this past week, which was the 9th, or I guess the 11th of September, we collected $113.44 just in completely an additional task that we're doing with our portfolio that we weren't doing with M1 Finance. Obviously, it does take a little bit more work, but I think it's worth it, and there is a small risk, and I'm willing to take that risk, and that is by selling covered calls on your positions while you hold them, while you collect those dividends. It's just a great way to generate some extra income. But you'll see that first week I made about $14, about $15. Second week about $18, and then the third week about $25, and this past week about $113. So I'm hoping that over time this gets a lot larger and we're generating more income. But I do want to go into a little bit more detail on this, especially because remember I did go over it a little bit, but kind of want to go over if anybody of my subscribers are kind of interested in seeing options. But let me go into a little bit more detail. And so the way that this works is actually if I pull up the positions, so let's go ahead and filter this out by positions. So you need 100 shares to sell a covered call. I guess when people think of options, they think of it as very risky. Definitely buying options is a lot riskier, but if you sell options, it's a great way to generate extra income. So I think it's a great skill set to have if you want to accelerate your growth in your portfolio while holding great dividend companies. But one of the things that's required when you sell options is that you actually need 100 shares of the certain company if you're selling a covered call. If you're selling a cash secured put, then you need all the capital to purchase 100 shares of that company. So you'll see that Apple is currently trading about $157 a share. If you were to sell a cash secured put, that means that you need a total of $15,700 to purchase $100, I guess 100 shares of Apple. But if you wanted to sell a covered call, then you just need 100 shares of Apple. But the way that this works is that you're going to, right now currently Apple is trading at $157. So if you were to say by next Friday, you say that Apple will not reach $170, then what happens here is that the person that is actually buying the option, they will pay you a premium. So whenever you sell options, you're kind of like the casino, you're kind of insurance. So they're gonna pay you a premium for you taking the small risk of you letting them borrow your 100 shares. The possible outcomes that can happen to your contract for selling this is that either Apple will close above $170, meaning that your shares will get sold at $170 a share. So you will make the difference in your cost basis minus the the current share price of the strike price, which is 170. The other thing that you would also do is you would keep the premium that they did pay you. The other possible outcome that you could have is that Apple actually closes below $170. So let's say they close at $165, then you would just keep the premium, and the Apple contract will actually expire worthless, which if I show you guys here, you see these options from this past week, they actually expired worthless because they never reached the price of the strike that we had for those covered calls. So that was pretty great. But in the other case that you could potentially do is what happened with me on JP Morgan, and they do reach the price that you sold it at and you don't want your shares getting sold, you can actually do a roll, which is what I did with JP Morgan. And hopefully next week everything cools off a little bit and we can actually purchase the JP Morgan covered call at small profits, but we will see. But definitely the thing that I'm doing right now is selling covered calls against my 100 shares of certain companies. Right now, one of the goals that I kind of do want to do is I'm very close to 100 shares of Microsoft. So I'm going to try to accumulate 100 shares of Microsoft, and that'll be another vehicle to start accelerating my growth even further. Because right now my main income from covered calls are Apple, JP Morgan, and Nvidia. I think Microsoft will be a great addition to that. But let me know what you guys think of covered calls. Definitely there is a small risk. The other thing is that selling options and collecting that premium is considered a taxable event. So it's mostly regular income, but I'm okay with that because I am generating additional income on top of it. So definitely looking forward to continue to accelerate that growth. And again, let me know in the comment section what you think of covered calls. Are you new to it? Are you interested into it? But let's go ahead and actually wrap up this video, guys, because we want to see how much we grew the dividend snowball. And one thing I almost forgot to show you guys was the income for this past week. So you'll see we got all these juicy dividends from this past week. Johnson & Johnson, Pfizer, Southern Companies, Microsoft, Target, and then 3M. Great dividends, completely passive on top of our covered call premiums we've collected. So definitely exciting. I'm excited to see what 2, 3 years, 5 years from now doing this strategy will do to our portfolio, and hopefully we can eventually hit the 7-figure mark. We will see how long that takes, but let me go ahead and show you guys what we are expected to get this coming week, which again, we already got the 3M dividend, but you'll see that we are expected to get some great dividends this coming week. This is another script I do have available for free. You'll see that we are going to get the Skyworks Solutions dividend increase as well as the Duke one, so that'll be very exciting. Let's see if we got any new dividend declared. So get latest dividends. Give it a second or two. This will get wiped and it'll go out and look at our positions and see if any new companies declared out dividends. So very easy to run, and takes a second or two. Seems like it's there it goes. And very excited to see what we have for the rest of the month as well. A lot of the October ones should start populating here, which you'll see here, which is very awesome. And yeah, guys, let's go ahead and go over here to settings. We'll go ahead and delete this, and let's go ahead and jump over to personal capital so we can get the latest version of our portfolio from this past week and see how much we grew that dividend snowball. So I'll see you guys over there. Alright guys, so we're here at personal capital. I'm under my Charles Schwab account, and you'll click the green button. This actually copies the content of the portfolio into your clipboard. Then we can jump back over, right click, paste special values only, and then we can actually jump over here to holdings, and you can click portfolio tools. You click update portfolio holdings. When you click on this will get wiped and it'll use the new information we just pasted. So click on it, and there it goes, guys. If we jump over here to the dashboard, we'll see everything start getting calculated. So definitely excited. Alright guys, so it looks like dividend yield 1.85% compared to last week, which it did go down, and that is because the portfolio did go up in price. Cost basis staying the same at 2.62%. Yearly, we actually went up about $4. It's a pretty great. Monthly, $279.61. So we went up about 31 cents. Weekly, $64.52. So about 7 pennies we went up. Daily, we went up by 1 penny. Hourly, we're still making 38 cents an hour. Hourly work wage, this is if our portfolio was to go work a 40-hour work week, they would get paid an hourly rate of $1.61. They actually are still getting paid $1.61. Our long-term goal is to try to get this to minimum wage. We'll see how long that takes. But yeah guys, this is actually all I have for you guys. Be sure that you're subscribed with that notification. If you have not done so, drop a big thumbs up on the video, and if you stuck all the way to the very end, be sure to drop a hashtag options, because that is a way that we are generating extra income, and definitely hopefully in a couple years it'll pay off very well. Definitely it has its small risks, but it's definitely risks that I think are worth taking the risk for. And I will catch you guys in the next video. I'll see you guys in the comment section as well. Take care, stay safe out there. Bye guys.